Type in the chat, let me know where it is that you're signing in from. Type in the chat, let me know where it is that you're signing in from. Just click that share button. Let someone else in on the information that you're going to get right now. I'm going to start in just a minute or so. Like, share, comment. If you are interested or you find quality in the information that it is that you've been receiving for the past 7 weeks, just share this video with someone else so that they too can get the information that you are about to get. What we're going to talk about tonight, we are going to talk about how to improve your attitude. So go ahead, click share, invite somebody else to the live. Kevin is watching from Freeport. Welcome to the live. We're going to get started in just a couple seconds. All right. Good evening again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mind Matters, where we will be discussing matters of the mind because the mind matters. I am Altamarie Elvis, and I want to thank you so much for joining me on this mindset journey. Remember, like, share, comment if you find value in what it is that you are receiving and what you have been receiving over the past few weeks. All right, so your attitude can significantly affect your life. All right, we've been talking about attitude for the past, this is our third week talking about attitude. And, we have said that your attitude is your choice. It can affect every aspect of your life. It can affect your work. It can affect your marriage, your friendships. It can affect almost anything, everything that that goes on in your life. So this week we're going to be talking about how we can improve our attitudes, tips to improve your attitudes. There are many tips out there, many ways that you can improve your attitude, but tonight I'm going to just look at about 9 of them, and then I'm going to get you on your way. Hopefully the information that you get tonight will help you on your mindset journey and your attitude change. Now, the question you have to ask yourself, is it time for an attitude adjustment? And if this is so, then here are some tips that you can use to get you on this winning pathway on your journey to your mindset change. The first one that we're going to talk about is taking responsibility. This is one of the hardest ones, but it is very important. Your attitude, taking responsibility is the first step. The attitude that you possess in your responsibility, and it's well on your way. When you take responsibility for your attitude change, then you're well on your way to changing your mindset. Blaming your attitude on other people or other things won't improve anything. All right. So we talked about a few weeks ago about persons who say because of how they grow up, they blame it on their current situation. They blame it on their challenges. They blame it on all sort of things as to the reason why their attitude is the way that it is. But when you do that and you don't take responsibility and you don't realize that this is your attitude is your choice, then nothing is going to change. And, yes, we have been wronged. Have you been wronged? I know I've been wronged. Have you had times where, you didn't get what it is that you deserved? You worked hard for something and you didn't get what it is that you deserved. Of course, we've all been there. And these types of situations can leave us bitter and unhappy, especially if we dwell on them, or only if we dwell on them. So, they create destructive emotions that keep us in a negative place. And this is not a place where we want to be. We're changing our mindset. We want to be in a positive place. So we have to redirect our attention to what it is that we are responsible for. We are responsible for our emotions and our thoughts. We have to recognize, we recognize where we've been wronged, fine. Then we forgive, and then we focus on what we can control. You're not in control of anybody else's action. You're not in control of what somebody else does to you or says to you. You are in control of you. You can only control you, and that's your responsibility. Your attitude is your responsibility. And the Serenity Prayer says, at least the first part of it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Do you know the difference? What are the things that you can change? What are the things that you can't change? If you can't change it, it is not your responsibility. If you can change it, it is your responsibility, and you can only change you. Doing this increases your positive energy and improves your attitude. Number 2, you have to evaluate your present attitude. What is your attitude like now? Am I negative? Am I positive? Do I make a lot of excuses? Do I see things in the negative light? To start improving your attitude, you have to first, assess where you are, assess your current attitude, identify the negative feelings. You have to identify what causes these negative feelings. Is it something that happens in the workplace? Is it something that happens at home? Is it something that happens with your spouse? What is it that causes these negative attitudes? And then once you identify those, then you begin working on dealing with them. And when we do counseling, when I did counseling, did my degree, one of the things they always tell us, you cannot help someone if they don't need help. All right, you have to admit that you need that change. Yes, you have to admit that you need that change. Yes, Casey, we have to take responsibility for, yes, how we react to people. Your attitude, how you react to people is solely on you. It has nothing to do with what the person did. So that is solely on you. So that's a part of your responsibility as well. All right, so you cannot help someone who doesn't need help. You cannot change somebody who doesn't want to change, or you won't change if you don't see the need to change. And there's a saying that says you can bring the horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And so as much as I'm giving this information and you're hearing this, if you don't see the need for you to change, then your attitude will remain the same. All right, so it all begins with you. Number 3, you have to develop the desire to change. Change is not easy. We know that. Change is one of the hardest things that anybody has to go through. You go to a job and you have a new boss, it's difficult. The boss is going to more than likely get resistance. You go to a restaurant and they change a couple things, or they change the menu, you know, a lot of people don't like change, but change is inevitable. Life changes every single second. Each day you get older, you're not staying the same, you're changing, your body changes. How I looked when I was 16, I don't think I look the same way now. I don't look the same way now. I'm not the same size. So change happens. Things happen in our lives that cause us to change. All right. So um the whole key to improving is changing. All right. The problem is that we cannot improve without change. You can change, but only if you want it badly enough. We're going to talk about that a little bit further down. All right. Next one, number 4, is you have to make your present moment your happiest moment. What do I mean by this? You have to live in the moment. Learn to be content. Life may not be how you want it right now, but you have to be able to be content with what you have, with where you are, with what's going on in your life. Even if it's something that's tough that's going on in your life, you have to be able to be content with that. Because when and you don't want to beat yourself up about the past either, because you have to be able to leave the past in the past and deal with the present and plan for the future. All right. So because when you focus too much on your past and too much on your future, you rob yourself of your present, which means you're not living in today, which means you are depriving yourself of the happiness that you're supposed to have today, now. All right, Philippians 4 verse 12 tells us, I know what it is to be in need. And this is Paul talking. And we know Paul went through a whole lot. He was imprisoned. He went through, more than any of us probably could deal with. And it says, I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret to being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. So we have to be able to be content with where life has us now, whether we have a lot, whether we have a little. We have to remember that the secret to being content is realizing that we're not in control of ourselves. There's somebody higher there who is taking care of us. And when you realize that, then you're able to be content with your situation. No, you're not going to stay there and wallow in whatever, or stay there forever. Yes, you're going to work towards getting to where you want to be, but you have to learn to be content with where you are, because the Bible tells us in Matthew that we are not to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worries of its own. All right. And God is going to take care of us, because if he takes care of the lilies of the field, how much more will he take care of us? So we have to see that God, or I believe that God is going to take care of us. And once we are able to see that and believe that, then we're able to be content with where our lives are. We have to be able to be grateful. And this is something we're going to talk about next week. All right. It's a whole session on just gratitude, because that's how important it is. All right. We have to be grateful for where we are and what we're going through. Gratitude is a must. And when we are able to be grateful for what it is that's happening, we're able to count whatever it is that we're going through as joy, which is something that the Bible tells us to do as well. Count it all joy. It's hard to do if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right beliefs, if you don't believe in the right person, which is Jesus Christ. All right, so what you want to do is learn from your past, plan for your future, but live in your present. Number 5, you want to develop good habits. All right, negative thoughts, lead to negative behavior, and negative beliefs can become the basis of wrong decisions. So when you're thinking negatively, it can push you to make the wrong decisions because you're thinking the wrong way, and it leads to the wrong actions. Because when you make the wrong decisions, it you make you take the wrong actions. All right, and this becomes a cycle, and once this becomes a cycle, then you start having this bad and negative attitude. All right, so in order to break that cycle, you have to create good habits. And in creating good habits, you want to take it one step at a time. All right, you want to take it one step at a time because we're so resistant to change. You don't want to go and try and change everything all at once. Okay, I see this wrong, that one, that, and you go and you try to change everything all at once. Take it one step at a time. Change one thing at a time. Improve one thing at a time. If you know exercising is your issue, or getting up early, you can start by saying, okay, I'm going to get up early on 2 days out of the week. And you start doing that until you're able to get up early every day out of the week. So take baby steps. Everything takes time. You can't beat yourself up because things don't happen instantly. And that's another topic we're going to talk about at another time. This microwave society that we live in, that everybody wants things right away. We have to be able to be patient. All right. So step by step, take it one step at a time, creating good habits. Number 6, find a way to deal with stress. Very important. Very, very important. What you'll find happening, and this is something I can relate to, this is something that I can speak of from experience. Just last week, last week when I came on, I told you that I was, just feeling so down. And that's because I've been having these really long weeks. We have days and weeks that really push us to the edge, and we don't do anything about it. We just continue, we go to sleep if we do get sleep, and we continue just like that, and without doing anything to counter what it is that we have been going through. So we have to be able to find that release, that way to relieve our stress. What you want to do is, when you're finding what it is that relieves your stress, you want to think about something that is that you have to exude physical effort and mental concentration. That way it takes your mind off of what it is that you're going through. For me, it's exercise. All right. I really started getting back into exercise last week, and I've been feeling a whole lot better. And I'm like, why didn't I, push to to really get back into this sooner? Because it clears my head. So you have to think about what it is that clears your head, what it is that relieves your stress, and you go ahead and you do that. All right. Look at your life as a balloon. If you're constantly putting air into that balloon without releasing any, at some point it's going to pop. All right. Now, if you put air in the balloon, air is the stress. If you put air into the balloon, and every time you put air in the balloon, you release some, that balloon is never going to pop, because it's never going to get big, so big to the point where it's going to pop. So that's the same thing with your lives. When you have stressful days, stressful weeks, matter of fact, you shouldn't even allow it to get to weeks. When you have a stressful day, find a way to relieve that stress. And a lot of times we don't even realize that we're stressed until we snap at somebody. Our poor little children, our poor husbands, our spouse gets the wrong end of the stick because you have had this long day or this stressful week, and you just didn't do anything about it. So you become irritable, you become easily frustrated. So you want to ensure that you find that release for your stress. Find a way to deal with it, and that will help you improve your attitude. Number 7, find positive people to be around. We spoke about this about 3 or 4 weeks ago when we talked about who is in your circle. All right. You want to have positive people in your circle. Yes, Casey, stress kills. Literally, it kills. If you don't take care of that stress, you can have high blood pressure. It can give you a heart attack. It can cause so many things to happen health-wise for you. So you have to take care of your mental health in order for your physical health to be taken care of as well. So both of them coincide. They both work hand in hand. Number 7, find positive people in your life. When you are around negative people, what you're going to do is what they're going to do is bring you down to their level, and you don't want that. You're trying to improve your attitude. You're trying to have a positive attitude. So you don't want to be around negative people constantly. All right, you want to find positive people so who have a can-do attitude, who have this attitude of, okay, I can get this done, and they see they're pessimistic instead of they're optimistic instead of pessimistic. They're seeing the glass as half full instead of half empty. There is a saying that goes, if you hang with 5 confident people, you will be the 6th one. If you hang with 5 intelligent people, you will be the 6th one. If you hang with 5 millionaires, you will be the 6th one. And if you hang with 5 negative people, you will be the 6th one. When you spend time with positive people, you will start to see things in a different light. So find some positive people in your life and hang with those people. Make those get them to be a part of your inner circle. All right. Number 8, don't take yourself too seriously. Something I'm struggling with. Something I'm struggling with. I'm a perfectionist, especially when it comes on to work. Especially when it comes on to things that I put out in the public, and it dampens my spirit a lot, and it has affected my attitude. And so I'm working on changing that. So I've been laughing a lot more at myself. I've been trying to not be so uptight. All right. And that's something we have to do. A lot of persons are so thin-skinned. They don't laugh at themselves. They don't laugh when something happens out of the way. They get upset about it, or they look they feel as though persons are judging, and instead of, okay, let me laugh about it. All right. So what you want to do is laugh a little bit, laugh a little. As a matter of fact, no, don't laugh a little, laugh a lot. All right, because laughter is also medicine. All right, so you want to laugh a lot. Don't be so easily offended. Don't be so easily offended. When when we were growing up, and I think children still do this now, when we're growing up, when somebody slips and falls, everybody else around them starts to laugh, but the person who is down on the floor is never laughing, right? When things happen like that, laugh. You can laugh at yourself. Nothing is wrong with that. And when you do that, then you'll be less offended by other persons laughing. All right. And it's not just about laughing, it's with everything that you do in life. All right. Yes, laughter is good for the soul. Lynn G. G. Yes, it is. All right. So don't be so thin-skinned. All right. And that will help with your attitude, because when you're easily offended, that means your attitude isn't where it should be. All right. And the last and final one, you have to take action for your attitude. This is one of the most important ones. You can do all the rest, or hear all the rest of the tips, but if you don't take action, nothing is going to happen. You have to take action yourself to change. I can't change you. I can only change me. All right. So you have to act yourself into change. The Bible says faith without works is dead. You can't just believe it. You can't just think it. You have to do something about it. You have to take the steps. A vision without action remains a dream. So you have to want that change, and you have to take the steps to make the change. If you want to change your attitude, you first have to change your behavior. You have to begin to act the part. You have to begin acting positive. Fake it till you make it. And then it becomes a part of you. All right? If you think you can. And if you think you can't, either way, you're right. So you have to believe, you have to act. All right? If you're constantly making excuses that you can't change and that this is just the way you are and this is how you're born or this is something based on your challenges, change is not going to happen. Your attitude will never improve. If improvement requires change, and a lot of us are resistant to change, but improvement requires change. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Something has to be done differently for you to have a different result. All right, so what is the condition of your attitude? Will it take you far on your journey to success, or will it stop you in your tracks? Think about that as you go through this week. Thank you so much for viewing. See you during next week's episode, where we will talk about an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is a must. All right, so see you next week. Thank you for joining me once again on this mindset journey to success. Enjoy your week, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you on your mindset journey. Remember, change your mindset, change your lives. What's on your mind?